Hey, David Brewster here, new episode of 3 for All. This is 3 Robin Trower Licks from 1974, and I've had some requests to feature this legendary 6-string icon again here on my channel, and I've featured Robin quite a few times already. There's a Soloing Secrets, a chord play episode, and a 3 for All, lesson from a few years ago. But then earlier this year in April, Robin released a new album that prompted me to start listening to his music and kind of think about him. And now I'm making this lesson as a tribute to him. So if you're a Robin Trower fan, a blues rock fan looking for some tasty licks, buckle up, because here we go. So in prep for this lesson, I went back and reread Robin's Guitar Player magazine interview from the July 1980 cover story. And it was very insightful, talked about his early years in the 70s, and then kind of moving into the new decade, which in July of 1980, the 1980s was a new decade. But it was really interesting, and I found this quote where he was talking about single notes instead of, like focusing on runs and making his guitar sing and cry. But here's a quote from that interview. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, earlier this year Robin released his 28th studio album. I think it came out April 25th, and it's called Come and Find Me. And I'm currently trying to find a copy of that album. I haven't had any luck yet, but I have listened to it online. It sounds really good. And if you're a Robin Trower fan, don't forget his new album. So the licks in this lesson actually came from a TV appearance in 1974. I think it was the Old Grey Whistle Test program in England. And it's very interesting because a lot of the licks we're going to look at came from the song Little Bit of Sympathy from Bridge of Sighs. If you're a rock or blues rock guitarist and you haven't heard that album, that's essential. It's a must. You have to have at least one copy of Bridge of Sighs somewhere in your library. It's completely essential. But anyway, that's where the licks in this lesson came from, and I found it right here on YouTube. Okay, the first lick's this bluesy open string phrase, and this is really common in blues and blues rock, and you can hear guitarists like Freddie King and Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan playing licks like this, and here's Robin's version like this. One more time. So we're in E, obviously, right there, and you're hearing like that low E kind of ringing from the previous, part of the song, and then you hear the slide right there on the G string. So you're gonna slide that A into B and then catch this E note on the B string and pull off the D. And then you want to do another pull off right there, that E to D. And then right there, it's an open B, D, open B, hammer on pull off. And then you want to do 3 more pull offs right there, that D to the open B 3 times. Then grab this this B note, shift back to that A note right there on the G string, and then pull off to the open G. And then do another pull off right there, that A to the open G. And then you're going to basically hit that open G, hammer on the G sharp, and then play the high E open. Like that. So really slow. Like that. One more time. It's just interesting to hear that bouncy kind of open string thrown in there. And there's just a lot of kind of hiding open strings. It ends with an open string. So it's cool to hear open string licks like that. Next up is this Crammed pentatonic bending lick, and it's something like this. One more time. So this is a handful right here. So we're in E minor pentatonic, the box, and you're hearing like this fretted E and then immediately bending that D to E. And then you're going to pull off, after you grab that E again, then you're going to pull off that D to B. Like that. So it's real quick right off the bat. So you're doing this. That's what it sounds and looks like a little bit slower. One more time. Something like that. Really slow we're doing. So right there you're going to basically grab this fretted E, you're going to grab this D note, bend that to E, grab that E again, and then pull off D to B right there. So that's the first part. And then you've got this, right? And then you're doing this really stock, you know, kind of bluesy bending lick here. And I like the way he ends it where he's rolling down to that D note there at the end. So really slow. And that's kind of cool the way he's coming out of that stock bending lick. And he's grabbing that E and then catching that A back to G and then rolling down to D. Like that. So really slow one more time. I guess that wasn't really that slow. One more time, slow. Here we go. And it's just crammed in there, and it's real smooth, of course, but crammed lick. Cool lick. Next up's this extended bending idea, something like this. One more time. So as you can tell, this has a huge bend. We're bending this G 2 whole steps up to that B note. As far as that first bend, I think Robin was using like his first 3 fingers. I'm using all 4 to kind of reinforce that bend because we're going from there up to that B note. That's a big bend, right? And then you've got this, it's coming down like that G, F sharp, E to that D note, and then a hammer-on pull-off, like that. And then you're doing another hammer-on pull-off on the D string right there. And you're ending with that C sharp and then slide that B off. Like that. So one more time, all the way through it slow. And then it's tempo. Cool lick. Here's a bonus lick from this footage, and it's a signature Trower bending lick, like this. One more time. Some like really intense vibrato at the end too. I'm trying to get it. But it's E minor pentatonic box, and we're doing a D to E hammer on right there. So that's like the lick right there. And you're going to end with that final bend right there, so really slow. And when you get to that E, go back to that G, grab that D, and then bend that a whole step to E with some very expressive vibrato. Like that. And it just has this really smooth kind of flow to it. Like that. And you can definitely catch Robin playing that lick a lot in different keys too, because there it is in the key of E, right? Put it like down 3 frets, put it in C sharp, and do it right there. Right? Move it up 3 frets, or you know, a minor third from where we were. Do it in G right up there. And just kind of get used to playing it all over the place, but in this example, you know, Robin was playing in an E right there. And it's really hard to get that final vibrato move because it's very intense. Check it out. Alright, that's going to wrap this episode 3 for all with this look at 3 Robin Trower licks from 1974. Definitely a very important and influential and respected guitarist. I've definitely been a big Robin Trower fan, technically since my high school, college years. That's when I really fell into his music. As soon as I heard Bridge of Sighs, I was like, where has this been my whole life? And I've been a fan ever since. The album, that is. But, I mean, the song itself's great, but the album is just, you know, phenomenal. But there's just something about Robin's style, you know, use of effects, these Hendrixy kind of bending moves and sounds and stuff, but he definitely has his own style and signature moves and stuff too. And there's just something really cool about the fact, I mean, Robin's career started in 1962. That means he's been rocking the streets for over 6 decades, which is just unreal. And I respect him. I've been following him, like as far as the news for his new album and everything. And I'm going to track down the new album. I just haven't found it yet. But anyway, leave some feedback and comments. Please subscribe to Night Lessons, and I'll be back before you know with more content and material. Thank you.